Gentlemen, reading from speeches is a very tedious business, particularly for an old man that has to put on spectacles, and more so if the man is so tall that he has to bend over to the light. November 24th, 1862, to General Carl Schurz, I have just received and read your letter of the 20th. The purport of it is that we lost the late elections and the administration is failing because the war is unsuccessful, and that I must not flatter myself that I am not justly to blame for it. I certainly know that if the war fails, the administration fails, and that I will be blamed for it, whether I deserve it or not, and I ought to be blamed if I could do better. You think I could do better, therefore you blame me already. I think I could not do better, therefore I blame you for blaming me. I understand you now to be willing to accept the help of men who are not Republicans, provided they have heart in it. Agreed. I want no others. But who is to be the judge of hearts, or of heart in it? If I must discard my own judgment and take yours, I must also take that of others, and by the time I should reject all I should be advised to reject, I should have none left, Republicans or others, not even yourself. For be assured, my dear sir, there are men who have heart in it that think you are performing your part as poorly as you think I am performing mine. The shepherd drives the wolf from the sheep's throat, for which the sheep thanks the shepherd as a liberator, while the wolf denounces him for the same act as the destroyer of liberty. Plainly the sheep and the wolf are not agreed upon a definition of the word liberty, and precisely the same difference prevails today among us human creatures, and all professing to love liberty. Towering genius disdains a beaten path. It seeks regions hitherto unexplored. It sees no distinction in adding story to story upon the monuments of fame erected to the memory of others. It denies that it is glory enough to serve under any chief. It scorns to tread in the footsteps of any predecessor, however illustrious. It thirsts and burns for distinction, and, if possible, it will have it, whether at the expense of emancipating slaves, or enslaving free men. September 27th, 1862, I happened to be placed, being a humble instrument in the hands of our Heavenly Father, as I am, and as we all are, to work out His great purposes. I have desired that all my works and acts may be according to His will, and that it might be so, I have sought His aid. But if, after endeavoring to do my best in the light which He affords me, I find my efforts fail, I must believe that for some purpose unknown to me, He wills it otherwise. September 27th, 1862, if I had had my way, this war would never have been commenced. Gold is good in its place, but living, brave, patriotic men are better than gold. I have seen your dispatch expressing your unwillingness to break your hold where you are. Neither am I willing. Hold on with a bulldog grip, and chew and choke. He who molds public sentiment goes deeper than the who enacts statutes or pronounces decisions. He makes statutes and decisions possible or impossible to be executed. And this, too, shall pass away. How much it expresses! How chastening in the hour of pride! How consoling in the depths of affliction! We must remember that the people of all the states are entitled to all the privileges and immunities of the citizens of the several states. We should bear this in mind, and act in such a way as to say nothing insulting or irritating. I would inculcate this idea, so that we may not like the Pharisees set ourselves up to be better than other people. I do not wish you to believe that I assume to be any better than others who have gone before me. Why should there be a patient confidence in the ultimate justice of the people? Is there any better or equal hope in the world? In our present differences is either party without faith of being in the right? If the Almighty Ruler of nations, with His eternal truth and justice, be on your side of the north, or on yours of the south, that truth and that justice will surely prevail by the judgment of this great tribunal of the American people. Don't give up. Come on. Just keep on trying. Don't frown. Smile. You can do it. If you just try a little harder. I've got a feeling this whole thing might just work out okay. You'll see. Don't give up. Tomorrow is a brand new day. Now I want to see all of you get up on your feet and look like you're enjoying yourselves. Come on, let's see some of that famous Pennsylvania optimism I've heard so much about. Coral, not at all. No man resolved to make the most of himself can spare time for personal contention. Still less can he afford to take all the consequences, including the vitiating of his temper and loss of self-control. The worst thing you can do for those you love is the things they could and should do themselves. I have no speech to make to you, and no time to speak in. I appear before you that I may see you and that you may see me, and I am willing to admit that so far as the ladies are concerned, I have the best of the bargain, though I wish it to be understood that I do not make the same acknowledgment concerning the men. I see you have erected a very fine and handsome platform here for me, and I presume you expected me to speak from it. If I should go upon it, you would imagine that I was about to deliver you a much longer speech than I am. I wish you to understand that I mean no discourtesy to you by thus declining. I discourtesy to no one. But I wish you to understand that though I am unwilling to go upon this platform, you are not at liberty to draw any inferences concerning any other platform with which my name has been or is connected. I wish you long life and prosperity individually, and pray that with the perpetuity of those institutions under which we have all so long lived and prospered, our happiness may be secured, our future made brilliant, and the glorious destiny of our country established forever. Let every American, every lover of liberty, every well-wisher to his posterity, swear by the blood of the Revolution never to violate in the least particular the laws of the country, and never to tolerate their violation by others. As the patriots of '76 did to the support of the Declaration of Independence, so to the support of the Constitution and the laws let every American pledge his life, his property, and his sacred honor. Let every man remember that to violate the law is to trample on the blood of his father, and to tear the charter of his own and his children's liberty. Let relevance for the laws be breathed by every American mother to the lisping babe that prattles on her lap. Let it be taught in schools, seminaries, and colleges. Let it be written in primers, spelling books, and almanacs. Let it be preached from the pulpit, proclaimed in legislative halls, and enforced in courts of justice. And, in short, let it become the political religion of the nation. When Abraham Lincoln, Speeches and Writings, 1832–1858 Volume 1. My dear sir, yours of the 13th is just received. My engagements are such that I cannot, at any very early day, visit Rock Island, to deliver a lecture, or for any other object. As to the other matter you kindly mention, I must, in candor, say I do not think myself fit for the presidency. I certainly am flattered, and gratified, that some partial friends think of me in that connection, but I really think it best for our cause that no concerted effort, such as you suggest, should be made. Let this be considered confidential. Yours very truly, Abraham Lincoln.